Well, good evening. It's nice to be here. The most important thing I hope you'll remember tonight is everybody, all of us that have run for office are very, very, very appreciative of all your support. And if you run in Florida, you know you don't win by a landslide, so your support in all my races made the difference. So thank you very much. I have a new job as of January 11th this year. I'm the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. We have one goal, and the only goal is to get a majority in the Senate, and we're going to get a majority in the Senate with your support. Now, one thing I'm a business guy, and I always thought it was important to appreciate people for what they do and recognize people for what they do. And so as the chair of the National Republican Senatorial Committee, I created a new award. It's called the Champion for Freedom Award. And the first recipient was no other than President Donald Trump. But I've given it to other individuals. I've given it to other individuals that that focus on freedom and democracy. Senator Rudy Boschwitz, I don't know if you remember him, a wonderful individual. And Miriam and Sheldon Adelson. But tonight, I want to recognize two individuals. I want to recognize if Sen Norm Coleman and RJC Executive Director Matt Brooks will come out. One of the nicest things is to recognize people, and Senator Norm Coleman is somebody that I think everyone here admires. He's a fierce advocate for limited government, for peace and prosperity, American Israel. Matt Brooks, I think he started with a few people around a kitchen table, and now you guys are probably the most influential, and one of the most influential groups to help people, Republicans, get elected in the entire country. So another round of applause for them. Next, I want to recognize my wife, who is, I'm not sure where she's, oh, here she is. She's sitting here. She's put up with all these things. We got married when we were 19 years old. We have two beautiful daughters and 6 grandsons and a granddaughter, so we've been blessed. I want to recognize Senator Ted Cruz, who is an unbelievable advocate for the state of Israel. And next, when you're a governor, and I was a governor from 2011 to 2019, you compete. You compete every day to make your state the best state for jobs, the best state for education, the best state for public safety. And you have somebody in the audience tonight, I think he's going to speak a little later, that is a great advocate for his state and is a great competitor, Governor Chris Sununu. I want to recognize Chris. Not sure where Chris is sitting. Then finally, I want to recognize the Phallics. We were very fortunate. I was in Israel the day that President Trump announced the movement of the embassy, and we had a big party that night with the Phallics. And we did the same thing on the day that the embassy was open. The Phallics held a great event that night, so I want to thank the Phallics for their support. of me and Israel and this great country. Now, we've had a great week. If you look at what happened in Virginia this week, the governor, African-American lieutenant governor, Hispanic attorney general. But on top of that, let's look at some other things we did this week. We, 3 judicial races in Pennsylvania we won, including the Supreme Court pickup. We won a district where it's 73% Hispanic that Biden had won by 14 points. Josh Lupin won. We won, think about this, we won a mayor's race in Augusta, Maine, where Biden had won that area by 11 points. And we had somebody that spent $153 going to Dunkin' Donuts beat a Democrats. It tells you we're going to win in 22. Now, I've been doing this now for 11 years, and let me tell you, it's a team sport. And if you don't have the right team, you're not going to win. But what we have now is we have individuals that have led organizations that are hell-bent on us winning. One of those individuals is Ronna McDaniel. If you look at this week, whether it's the RNC was there, the RGA was there, the state parties were there, the NRC was there, the NRCC was there, the RNLA was there, and what they did was they got the vote out. They won, Youngkin won by about 80,000 votes, and that group together got 100,000 additional votes in. We would not have won but for what they do. So one thing I do in my role as the NRC chair is make sure that everybody understands there's a reason to support the RNC, the NRCC, the RGA, and the NRSC. Because if we all do our jobs, then we're going to have more Republican governors, more Republican senators, more Republican House members, and it'll put us in a position to win the White House in 24, which we will. Now, a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a governor and a senator? They're both, what I found is they're both great jobs, but they are totally, totally different. As governors, what we do is we go compete, and we try to make our states the best. And I was proud that we added 1.7 million jobs. I was proud that, and by the way, any survey that says we're good, we assume that's the best survey out there. The U.S. News and World Report said Florida had the best higher education system in the country, so it's clearly the best indicator, right? CNBC would always say we were one of the best states to do business, so I always use that as the best indicator. But we all fight. But the other thing we get to do, we have access to resources that senators don't have. For example, I was able, as governor, and it's very difficult with Schumer and Pelosi there, as governor, I was able to prevent our pension plan, which is the third biggest in the country, from doing business by any company that supported the BDS movement. We were able to do the exact same thing with our state agencies. You couldn't do that as a senator. You don't have that authority to do it. You can try, but Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Bernie Sanders and the squad will stop you. We also saw, while I was governor, we had our Jewish schools were being threatened. We were able to provide resources to provide extra security for them, which is very difficult to do as a senator. Then we watched what happened with the synagogue in Pittsburgh. We were able to take state highway patrol resources and put them at our religious services, our Jewish religious services, to keep them safe. So it's a great job, and you can do a lot of great things as governor. The Senate is different. Okay, first off, I don't have to learn all the senators' names because a lot of them, like Chuck Schumer, will not ever talk to me. He won't get on the elevator with me. He will never say my name. And he will never ride the train with me. He'll never, ever do anything with me. And there's a lot of them that are like that. Everything in D.C. has become, if you're a Democrat, you don't want to secure the border. How did that become a political issue? All right? You're not worried about inflation. It can't happen. It's happening. You know, they don't support Israel. They won't try to stop the BDS movement. The Democrats, it's not just the squad. It's not just Bernie Sanders. It's all of them. They'll give a nice talk, but they'll do nothing Nothing to support Israel. They stopped funding for the Iron Dome. But here's the worst. Think by just for yourself. Think of some 5-year-old little boy you know. We all have them. Ann and I have now just turned 6, 5-year-old little grandson. And just put that in your mind. What do they want to do? They love their families. They want to play. They're the happiest people around. No worries in the world. They don't have to worry about grades, any of that stuff, girlfriends, any of that. So there's a little boy. His name's Edu Avigal. He was killed by Hamas rocket in May. That should infuriate every American. But you know how many Democrats said anything about him? 0. There was not one Democrat that stood up for Israel. I did the exact same resolution in May to say Israel has a right to defend itself, and Hamas is a terrorist organization. It was the exact same resolution that Majority Leader Harry Reid proposed on the Senate floor in 2014 when Hamas was shooting rockets into Israel. Guess what? Every Republican and Democrat senator supported it. When I proposed it this time, not one Democrat senator would sign on, and they blocked it on the Senate floor. The only thing that's bipartisan up there right now is if we, Republicans, will raise your taxes and waste your dollars. That's all that's happening up there. By the way, today, so far it sounds like the Democrats have not been able to get anything done in the House. I haven't checked in the last half hour. So let me just finish by talking about quickly where we are with the NRSC. We have 20 Republicans up, 14 Democrats. All right? That's not the greatest odds, but we have great people running on our side. And the Democrats are not organized. They have primaries. Generally, Schumer picks his candidate, and they don't have primaries. They've got primaries in North Carolina, in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Wisconsin. And we've got great candidates. Now, they've got to get through these primaries, and then they're going to win. We're raising money. We're actually outraising the Democrats right now. By the way, I'm sure you love all the texts and emails you get through WinRed. You're anxious every day when you get a few of those. Whether you like them or not, we are raising, just for the NRSC, on a monthly basis, over $5 million, and we get over almost 170,000 donations a month. So we are beating the Democrats, and so if we have good candidates, we will win. So, thank you for your support. I hope you have a wonderful event. Thanks for all your support in the past. We're going to have a Republican majority in the Senate. Kevin McCarthy is going to make sure we have a Republican majority in the House. And we're going to take back the White House in 2014. Bye-bye.